From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Tuesday. It's the 28th day of February 2017. It's the last day of the month. And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
Where are we, Pat?
We are at Wayne Community College, by the clock.
By the clock. Wasn't that a song? By the clock, by the clock, by the beautiful clock. No, that was something else. Never mind. What time is it? All right. We keep getting word from the Wayne County Public Library about things that are going on over there. They're either open or they're closed. Part of that is planned, part of it isn't, like the water main break last week. But we have word here that this Thursday, day after tomorrow, Wayne County Public Library, the main branch, the main library on East Ash Street will be closed Thursday for a new carpet installation. The old carpet's wearing out, so they need to replace it. So the library is going to be closed in Goldsboro on East Ash Street Thursday, day after tomorrow, for a new carpeting installation. And so they invite you to stop by after that. So they're going to close early on Thursday for a new carpet installation. Not going to be closed the whole day. They'll be closing early.
At 5:30.
At 5:30. Thank you for carpeting installation. I'll get it. Just hang on.
They've been doing a lot of renovations in the library.
Yes, they have. And the library has a little age on it, and it needs, every once in a while, it needs some new stuff in there, so they're putting carpet in.
I need a little TLC.
A little TLC. To luck. We've got a pig picking to talk about. The American Legion Riders Post 11 is coming up with a pig picking on, what's the date on that?
March 25th.
Okay, it's a Saturday.
Beginning at 5 p.m.
All right.
All proceeds go to the Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition for the Purple Heart Dinner.
Hoorah!
The American Legion Riders Post 11 is located at 2973 U.S. Highway 117 South, Dudley.
Which is immediately south of the fairgrounds, on the left as you're going toward Mount Olive. Right there near the bottom of the hill there. Go past the fairgrounds and turn. There you go. $8 a plate, like you say. Anyway, that's going to be a big event. Again, March 25th, that's a Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. And what is that? Bumps in the road. From the Wayne County Council on Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention, they are presenting a program entitled Avoiding Bumps in the Road. Now, this is an abstinence-based program. Youth grades 6th through 12th grades in high school on March 8th are invited to attend a program that will begin promptly at 6:45. The doors will be open at 6 p.m., and you're invited to attend. The program starts at 6:45 at Wayne Center. It's at the corner of Chestnut and George Street. Wayne Center, plenty of parking in the back. At the Cooperative Extension Office. This is sponsored by the 4-H, and tickets can be purchased from the 4-H, from the Cooperative Extension Service, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, for $6 each. $6, and that includes a dinner. When was the last time you ate a nice dinner for $6?
By Longhorn.
By
the Longhorn Steakhouse.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, man. By the Longhorn Steakhouse. Wow. Performance of The Rose is an abstinence-based drama. Entertainment, door prizes are going to be handled as well. Dinner by Longhorn Steakhouse. There it says, right there for $6. So if you want to go to this thing, have a nice steak dinner, and learn about avoiding bumps in the road, an abstinence-based program. The deadline for this is March 3rd, which is Thursday. And this will be taking place on, what did I say the date was?
March the 8th.
March 8th. Okay, which is next week. All right. All right, very good. Wings over Wayne, headed to Wayne County. May 20th. May 20th and 21st. Okay, Today, by the way, happens to be Rare Disease Day. And here at Wayne Community College, now remember that this program airs at 7 a.m. and it repeats at noon. And at noon today, while this program is on, there's going to be a Rare Disease Day at Wayne Community College, a Lunch and Learn seminar taking place with two folks, Tyrone Starkey and Sidney Yoakum, going to be presenting a program. Tyrone is will be talking about muscular dystrophy, and Sidney will be talking about ataxia. Learn the effects, learn the treatment, learn the diagnosis, and resources available for muscular dystrophy and ataxia. Lunch provided by the SGA, the Small Government Association. All right? Now, we got word that this past weekend, Boy Scouts from Troop 581 and Troop 14 and their adult leaders were tasked to clean up between the mess between the hospital and Kitty Askins because of the Hurricane Matthew and the resulting flooding in that area. There was a lot of trash in that area, and it really looked bad. So Kirk Keller pulled everybody together here, and they cleaned that area up. And we'll ask you to go to Facebook. Pat posted those pictures yesterday, I guess. Go to Facebook and look at the photographs, look at the pictures, and look at the difference that it made out there. And way to go there, Scouts. They are always prepared, and so is Kirk. There you go.
And you can actually just come down Wayne Memorial Drive and take a look.
Yes, you can. It looks great in there.
It does.
It looks great. What's that? What's that all about?
Oakland Volunteer Fire Department will host their 41st annual pork barbecue supper Saturday, March 11th from 4 o'clock till 7. You can eat in or take out. It's $8 per plate. And it's barbecue, boiled potato slaw, and hush puppies. And it will be at 674 Oakland Church Road, which is at the old station.
The old station?
That's correct.
Not the new station?
Not the new one.
There is a new one. And there's an old one. And this is at the old station. Right, there's not not at the new one now.
No.
Okay. What's in the old station?
It is used for training.
Training. So if you have a train,
not a choo-choo train.
not a tutu train?
No. Fire training.
Fire train. Oh yeah, fire train. That's what I meant to say. Fire training. Okay, that's at the old station on March 11th.
That's correct.
That's next Saturday. Next Saturday, a week from this Saturday, right?
That is.
Okay. All right. Also, we're going to go to our interview now. Is that okay?
That is good.
Let's do that. Now, a few days ago, we went out to the Goldsboro Event Center and listened to a program offered by North Carolina Secretary of Transportation Jim Trogden. This was one of the Chamber of Commerce of Wayne County's hot topics. This particular hot topic is on transportation. They have 5 every year of different subjects, and this last one was on transportation. We're going to go to that now, and we're going to hear an excerpt. We're going to hear what Jim Trogden had to say about the current situation and the future situation of transportation in North Carolina. That's up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
With that, I'm going to introduce the Secretary. Jim Trogden is appointed Secretary of Transportation January 2017 by Governor Roy Cooper. He's a registered professional engineer with more than 30 years of experience in transportation. He has held numerous roles in the public and private sectors. Most recently, he had a pie job at SAS. He was their director of global transportation and probably flying around on their jets all over. I don't know what he was doing, but it's a pretty sweet job, I'm sure. So I don't know what they did to get him to be secretary. But he first joined DOT in 1985. He was named Division 4 engineer, and that's when we first met Jim and first started working with him. So that's how long we've been partners and working on things together. He served as NCDOT's Chief Operation Officer from 2009 until he retired in 2013. And he's also worked as a Director of Strategic Planning for the North Carolina General Assembly. In addition, Secretary Trogden has more than 3 decades of military service and retired in 2016 as the Deputy General for the North Carolina National Guard. Secretary Trogden has earned a master's degree from the U.S. Army War College, as well as a master's and bachelor's degree in civil engineering from NC State University. Jeff, that makes him good right there, doesn't it? So anyway, so please welcome me and join the Secretary Jim Trogden to Goldsboro.
Thank you, everyone. And first, it's a pleasure to be back here in Goldsboro. And when they said, "Hey, you're coming to speak with the Wayne County Transportation Group," and you'll be at the Event Center. I had no idea. I said, well, maybe there was something built since I've been here. And so it was nice to know it was the country club, and good to come back to familiar territory. I think I've spoken here probably 4 or 5 times in the past. I do want to recognize the outstanding job folks are doing here with Division 4, Tim, and Division 2, John Rouse, and Board of Transportation member Gus Tullis. Thank them for what they've been doing to support this area for the Department of Transportation. A few of the challenges that we face as a state moving forward are probably not unfamiliar to all the folks that are here. North Carolina will be moving over the next 20 years from the 9th most populous state to the 4th most populous state. Unfortunately, all that growth will not be even across our state. 2 counties, particularly Mecklenburg and Wake, will account for about 68% of the statewide growth over the next 20 years. So what are we going to do to address the unique challenges there, and what are we going to do to address the challenges that are everywhere else, whether you're modestly growing like a lot of areas are? About half the state will be growing at a manageable pace but still growing, and then about 1/3 of the state will be actually shrinking in population and workforce. So what are we going to do to address all of those needs, because they are all each very much unique. So that's kind of the backdrop of where I'm starting coming back to DOT. I did want to say, in coming down here, you know, it's a pleasure to come back and be able to see the fruits of your labor over the years. So, you know, when I started in Division 4, we were trying to do improvements on existing 70. The first section of the bypass had not been awarded to contract. I started negotiations on getting right away through the golf course on the first section. I can still remember that. You know, just a tremendous amount of work that's been done. And not only the department, but with the community. And so, you know, Chuck mentioned some of the folks that we work with, and there's some that are no longer here, but each of them played a really important role in, as a team, helping deliver good things for Wayne County and this region. You know, coming back with those challenges that we see moving forward, what do we need to do at DOT, and where am I going to focus? The number one most immediate need is, if you recall, last year the General Assembly considered a $1.4 billion transportation bond. That was rejected. The other infrastructure package went forward with the university system buildings, some other buildings, some state parks improvements, which I'm sure you may be familiar with some of those, for about $2 billion, but the 1.4 for transportation was rejected. I think there's going to be an opportunity because the reason that it was rejected was at the time the department had $1.6 billion cash in the bank that we couldn't spend and get committed to projects to contract that were in our program. So my first priority, and I expect to be able to publish a plan next month, is how will we take what was $1.6 billion now between last year and this year, it's turned into $2.1 billion of cash on hand, and accelerate projects in our TIP much faster than what we have planned to do. So I hope you'll see in the next few months acceleration of projects that are currently in the plan in 2017, 2018, and 19, all coming in either this year or next year. The objective is to go from $2.1 billion in cash to $900 million in 12 months, using that little more than $1 billion in accelerating projects that aren't scheduled to be awarded this year. That's the first priority. The second priority then is once we can show progress there, we'll have, I believe, the confidence of the legislature. Well, how do we go back and look at the proposal last year and advance something that can be supported? I think the number that was submitted last year was a little low, so I'm hoping that we'll be coming back with a proposal that will be substantially bigger. Because I really like the philosophy, either you go big, go now, or go home. So we want to go big, because the reason being is there's right now we're funding about 17% of the projects submitted in the STI, or Strategic Transportation Investments Law. That's 17% across the state of all the projects that communities want and need, we're able to fund. That's fairly low. So we really need more investment in transportation, and I think through some innovative financing options that I believe the General Assembly will be interested in, you'll be able to see the fruits of that, not only from where we're spending the cash balance money this year and next year, to then, if we get that authorized, you'll see advancement of projects that are beyond the 2 and 3 year time frame. Some projects that may be scheduled out in 6, 7, 8 years from now, moving into the next 3, 4, and 5 years. That will be significant. You look down the list of the projects here in Wayne County. Most of them are improvements, I believe, on 117, some improvements on 70. I'm sure Tim can give you all the list of what's in the plan for the next 5 years. The objective there, if we get this authorization, is we'll be able to take all of those and do those plus additional ones that may be out beyond the 5 year period. That will be extremely important because we have to deliver more than just 17% of what the state needs, and we have to first do it with some financing options, and then we have to address long-term transportation revenue needs. And the reason why I say that is we have a limited amount of time, about 5 years. 2 years ago, the corporate average fuel economy standards was about 24 miles to the gallon on vehicles that are sold. This year, it's 34 miles to the gallon, and by 2025, it'll be 54 miles to the gallon. And I'm 57% reliant on motor fuels tax. 57% of my revenue comes solely from motor fuels tax. So what's going to happen is our revenue will start shrinking rapidly. And even if you assume the 54 miles to the gallon, which is a bad assumption, the industry will far exceed that, because most vehicles by 2025 will be fully electric, which means I will be receiving zero revenue for every vehicle that's sold by 2025 by all automobile manufacturers. That's a significant problem. So the objective, as I said, take the cash balance, accelerate in the next 2 years, do some financing, accelerate up to 5 years worth of projects. That gives us 5 years to solve what our long-term transportation revenue needs are going to be, and it will not include motor fuels tax. It can't, or we will not be successful either as a DOT, as a state, region, or as a nation. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of impact on what happens in Washington, but we are submitting projects for the pending $1 trillion national program. Still haven't gotten legislation, but we hear a lot of discussion, so we want to make sure projects are ready to take advantage of that. However, the federal problem and the state problem are the same. We're both heavily dependent on a revenue source that will be eliminating itself by our industry. So we have to move, and we have to move urgently and now. Other priorities, which I believe are equally important and probably closer to home. The first is, as I said, North Carolina is the 9th most populous state. Unfortunately, right now we're the 5th highest state in motor vehicle fatalities. What do we do to change that? My impression is, and it hasn't changed since I left the department, we have a very good process internally of doing improvements on our existing roadway to make our roadway safe, whether it's adding guardrail, whether it's adding rumble strips, whether it's more turn lanes. We have all those processes down. Unfortunately, most of the vehicle fatalities are driven by behavioral issues: distracted driving, driving while intoxicated, excessive speed, careless and reckless. So how do I partner with other agencies, both law enforcement and municipal, to bring other resources to bear so we can focus it on those behaviors and those locations that will give us the greatest return? And so we'll be developing and publishing some ideas on how we can do that, probably in a pilot stage, And early on, I think a good place to start is rural roads and inexperienced and young drivers. How can we really change the fatal accident rates that we're seeing on rural roads with young drivers? That would be a great place to start. Other areas that are equally important is going to be how we improve mobility and connectivity across our state, whether you're in the fast-growing urban areas doing suburban to urban trips, or whether you're trying to move freight and goods from distribution centers to where they're being consumed in the rest of our state. We have to do a better job there because that impacts our competitiveness and that impacts our economy. So things like the CCX rail hub that is going into Nash and Edgecombe County, I think that's a wonderful start at our state in being more aggressive in attacking, improving our logistics and economy, both with our ports, our rail, and our commercial markets. I think that's an example on what we need to continue to do and do very well. The other area that's extremely important will be how do we make sure that we improve our position nationally on being about the middle of all 50 states in structurally deficient bridges and poor pavement condition. We need to improve there because that also impacts safety and our economy as well. And then adding on to that, adding on appearance because I think especially in some locations of our state, we've neglected our roadsides and roadways, and we've got vegetation growing in front of signs, vegetation covering up guardrails, so if you pull off the road, you have no idea guardrail is there and you strike it. Those are the kind of things that we need to do better at and make sure that we have a system of providing equal service across the state, as well as litter. If you're like me, I'm a native of North Carolina since my birth in 1962, which was a long time ago. I can see a distinct difference in how some of our roadsides and roadways look. And then some of the other areas that we'll be equally focused on is how do we partner with folks like the ones that are working on CCX, some of our economic development partners, the Department of Commerce, and making sure we're doing things in transportation that foster economic competitiveness, not only inside of North Carolina, but all across the United States, because that's truly who our competitors are. The last area, which I think is very important, but has longer term impacts and consequences, is how do we leverage technology? And there's a few areas that I think will provide some immediate opportunities. One is unmanned aerial systems and how we use that both in transportation and in the economy. We are fostering and run testing facilities for UAS applications here in North Carolina. How do we better leverage that technology to reduce our costs and increase our efficiency? So things like what's the condition of all 80,000 miles of roadway? What's the condition of our paint striping on our roads? If I can do that much more rapidly with UAS technology than how we currently do it with people patrolling the roadways, I think that would be a very good use of that technology at a much lower cost, as well as how we respond to emergencies. Another area that most people think they won't see in their lifetime, but they'll be very much mistaken, is unmanned automobiles or autonomous and connected vehicles. Driverless vehicles, some people call them. Most people think, well, this technology will not be impacting me in my lifetime. Most of the automobile manufacturers, two of them that I was working with at SAS Institute, will have fully autonomous vehicles to market by 2021, which means you'll have a vehicle that can operate in any environment on any terrain without a driver. That will substantially change the automobile ownership model. It will substantially change the cost of transportation, but it'll also, we want to be prepared and make sure that we have the systems in place to leverage that and not just be responding to that market because it will be able to change things like senior citizens' access to quality of life opportunities, both in urban and in rural areas, they will not need the kind of support that they need today, and they'll be doing it at a fraction of the cost that it takes today. And that also extends to trucks. Major truck manufacturers will be coming to market with driverless tractor trailers by 2024 and 2025. That will change the dynamic as well in logistics and moving freight. Now your truck isn't constrained to the number of hours that the operator can operate. Tractor trailers will be operating on the road 22 hours out of 24 hours in a day. You'll move from a much lower utilization rate to a very high utilization rate, which substantially reduce the cost, but it also changes some of the demands on our roadway. Will we be prepared to provide the kind of high-tech interaction that may be required, that we should be doing with these vehicles as they're moving across the roadway? That's really a snapshot on all the things that I believe are extremely important, and you know, I'd love to say that we're going to have them all complete in the first 6 months or a 100-day plan. Some of those we must get finished very rapidly, especially the early ones that I mentioned. The others I think we'll have to do over the next few years, but it will certainly take a partnership. So anything that you can help us with in either identifying challenges, critiquing ideas, giving us feedback, or helping us leverage private sector capabilities in with the direction that we're moving would be very much appreciative. Like I said before, it's a pleasure to come back and see the progress that I had worked on in Wayne County and Goldsboro area since 1999. You know, seeing the fruits of all the labor is wonderful, and I would just say one of my favorite mottos is, if what you did yesterday looks too good, you haven't done enough today. So let's don't stop. Let's keep working together and make sure we sustain the progress that you've seen here in Wayne County. Thank you.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television on this Tuesday. It is the 28th of February, the last day of the month. Feels good, doesn't it?
It is.
We got 3 weeks before before spring gets here. Spring actually rolls in on the 20th. The first full day will be on the 21st of March. And there's more. People are asking now about daylight saving time. Daylight saving time will begin at 2 a.m. Sunday morning, March 12th, which is a week from this Sunday. A week from this Sunday is daylight saving time begins. All right? And the Parks and Recreation Department of Goldsboro Parks and Rec, offering adult jazz class every Wednesday for 6 weeks, beginning March 8th, beginning next week. For 6 weeks, only $35. You can register at Herman Park Center, and you can do so or get more information by calling, pardon me, ready to kick off April 29th. 739. It begins at what time?
9 a.m.
739 a.m.
Till 6 p.m.
Till 6 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. 9 to 6 on the day of the 29th. A tremendous amount of fun. People come from all over the southeastern USA. Some from actually outside the country happen to be here, and they'll be going. But it's a lot of fun. Hope you're able to go. A lot of food, a lot of activity, a whole ton of music. Always tons of entertainment. Anyway, gobs and gobs and gobs of people. Yeah, lots of fun. On the 29th. And you know what? The best part is it's free to enter. You just walk in.
And before the Pickle Festival, we have the
Oh.
Fremont Daffodil Festival.
We got the Daffodil Festival, that's right. One more thing about the Pickle Festival. Starts at 9 and runs till 6. Go have a good time. And there was one other point I wanted to make, and I'll have to remember that later in the program because I think I just forgot it. Anyway, go with me. The Fremont Daffodil Festival kicking off April 1, beginning at 10 a.m. Is that right?
That's correct.
Somewhere along the line, we were told it was 11 o'clock, but it's not 11 o'clock. It's 10 a.m. Enjoy some of the best barbecue in the world, or you can stop at the Capitol Cafe in Fremont for a couple of WT's world-famous hot dogs. You can try some grilled turkey legs or funnel cakes or ice cream or lemon or salty peanuts or just about any other diet-busting tasty treat you can imagine. Anyway, a tremendous amount of fun is the Daffodil Festival in Fremont on April 1st. That's a Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. You can dance off some of those calories to the music of the Embers. Wow, that's uptown. The Embers, all while you shop from an assortment of handmade crafts and gifts and stop in to check out the historical displays at the Fremont Heritage Museum. Finally, take in the entertainment or compete in the Daffodil Cornhole Tournament while the kids enjoy Children's Alley. No relation. Thank you. Anyway, so much going on that there's hardly enough time to pack it all in one day's visit, but you'll find a way, I'm sure. Again, April 1st, beginning at 10 a.m. in the thriving metropolis of Fremont, Highway 117 North.
Yes, and vendor applications has to be in by March 10th. No, 13th.
That's what I was going to say.
The 13th?
Yeah. Is it?
I think it was 13th.
I think it is too.
Nope,
No? No?
Nope.
No? No. Vendor application.
March 13th.
March 13th. Vendor application, March 13th. Okay, you have until then. Okay, what else have we here? Yes. Okay, one more thing. What's special about today? What is special about today?
There's a lot.
Today's the 27th, right?
28th.
Today's the 28th. That's what I meant to say. Today is International Pancake Day. Oh boy, Shrove Tuesday is today. International Pancake Day. Today's the famous Pancake Day race between the U.S. and England. And boy, are we good. Yeah, Pancake Day today. Today is also Floral Design Day. It's also Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday is today. And today's also National Tooth Fairy Day. How about that? Tooth Fairy Day. I used to get a nickel when I'd have a tooth. Now they get a little more than a nickel. Some kids get $5. Some kids get a car. Anyway, Rare Disease Day today. We mentioned that. And today is also Spay Day USA. Isn't that poetic? Spay Day USA, right? You know what I did yesterday? I failed to mention the answer to the trivia question.
He did.
I did.
And that would be Friday.
That would be?
Or Monday. Monday.
That would be Monday.
Yes. Mondays.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday's category was national parks. And national parks, the question was, what was the first national park in the USA? And the answer to that question is Yellowstone National Park, where you find Yogi Bear. No, that was Jellystone. Anyway, Yellowstone National Park was the first park in the USA. I'm sorry, not the first park, but the first national park in the U.S. Big difference. The nearest national park to us is the Great Smoky Mountains. Well, it's national. Where's the National Seashore Park? Anyway, that's Florida, I think. Never mind that. Anyway, Great Smoky Mountains, that's our closest national park. But the first one was Yellowstone. Today's question has to do with cities.
Why not colleges?
Or colleges. Or colleges. But let's go with cities first, because I have that one ready. Okay.
You should have thought about that.
I didn't think about anything.
While you're on a college campus.
We're on a college campus. One would certainly think that one should come up with a trivia question referring to colleges.
Yes.
One would
I'm
think.
sure you can come up with something.
Oh, sure I can, but not right this moment. Let's go with cities.
Roll on.
Okay, I almost had a good one for the college, but never mind that. Okay. In the early days of the settling of America, way back when, people came from all around the world to the New World, and this was the New World. And some of them finally settled in an area known as New Amsterdam. Those were primarily the Dutch who settled in New Amsterdam. So where is New Amsterdam today? What do we call it now? Instead of New Amsterdam, it is known as what? We will have the answer to that question for you coming up in the next segment of the program, and that's up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Corporal Jason Adams with Goldsboro Police Department is with us to bring us a Crime Stoppers report. Jason, how are you, sir?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing fine. I'm glad you're here. Now, we had some rain yesterday, and it is not raining today. It's a Thursday, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
That's when we recorded this program. But what's going on here with Crime Stoppers?
So today what we're going to be talking about is actually a shooting that occurred here in the city. It was actually, no one was hurt, but it actually had some significance. A house over on Leslie Street, 408 South Leslie, got shot up 33 times.
33 shots?
Yes, 33 shots. And the way we actually received this call, it came in through ShotSpotter, the alert system that we actually have in the city. And we received an alert of 33 shots fired in that area. And when officers responded, they actually found that the house plus 4 vehicles that were parked at the house had been shot.
Wow, 33 shots.
33. So the officers actually were able to make contact with some occupants in the house. There was actually a total of 16 people in the house.
This was an occupied house?
Yes, it was occupied. And we actually had some young children in there, some teenagers and some very young children. So, but no one was hurt, which is a good thing.
That is a good thing. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. But the occupants were actually inside the house, not able to give us any description of who did this or anything like that. So what we're really looking for is any information, because it happened on Sunday evening of February 5th at just at 7 p.m., just right after 7 p.m. So still a lot of people up and everything, but it is dark outside. So kind of looking for some assistance on this. 33
shots. Now, what's your gut feeling on this? I don't want to ask you a gut feeling. We only deal with facts here. But now, speculation maybe, is this, do you think there's more than one gun involved, or did they have time to reload?
Yeah, possibly more than one gun and everything. Our ShotSpotter alert system can, distinguish between the type of weapons, the sound that it's coming from. But
well, tell me about that. Sorry to interrupt, but tell me about ShotSpotter. That's interesting to me. What is ShotSpotter?
So ShotSpotter is actually uses sensors, and those sensors actually pick up firearms that are being shot that has been calibrated for that purpose. And it's actually a monitored program, and those people that monitor it, once it's verified that it is actually a firearm that's shooting, they notify us, and at that point it gives us a triangulated location and everything. So we were actually able to get down to where the shot is coming from.
So this actually picks up the audio of the gunfire?
Correct. And this whole time that it's going on is actually analyzed by a certified person that analyzes it, deems that it is actually a gunshot, and then at that point it comes through our system. So it goes immediately to the officers and to our dispatchers.
This sounds like a big plus. This is a big help to us, isn't it?
It is, because actually on this call we didn't receive any phone calls in saying that shots were fired in the area or anything. The first actual notification we got was through ShotSpotter.
So this occurred on Leslie Street on February 5th?
Yes.
At about 7 p.m.
Yep, just right after 7 p.m., so it was dark out. So anybody, vehicle, or anybody on foot, we're looking for anything, as right now we don't have any leads.
If you have any information about this crime, and this is a crime,
it is.
Shooting into an occupied dwelling.
It is the actual crime. It's a felony. Firing into an occupied dwelling is the charge, and it is a felony. And it could be multiple felonies due to the fact that there was multiple occupants in the house.
All right, very good. The number to call, what's the number?
The number to call is 919-735-2255.
735-2255, and that's either call or text.
Or text, yes.
Either one.
And remain anonymous, and we don't want to know.
Don't want to know who you are. You call with information, and it is completely anonymous. As you say, they really don't want to know who you are. 919-735-2255, and since this is a felony, there could be a reward involved here.
It could, and it could be up to $1,000.
Up to $1,000 is possible. All right, it's Corporal Jason Adams, 735-2255, Crime Stoppers. Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're back on the campus of Wayne Community College, and our final segment of the program here is Tuesday. It is the last day of the month of February, and again, a reminder that coming up on the 12th of the month of March is daylight saving time begins, that's a Sunday, so before you retire for the evening Saturday night, make sure that you move your clocks ahead 1 hour. So if you go to bed at 2 a.m., then you set your clock for 3. If you go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, you move your clock ahead to 8. If you don't move your clock ahead at all, the clock police will come drag you out of bed. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, the next thing that you need to know about is when spring begins. And the spring actually springs on the 20th of March, March 20th, and then the first full day will be on the 21st. Here we have the wonderful Tara Humphries. The
I don't know about wonderful.
Well, sure you are, sure you are.
But I'm still Tara Humphries.
You're still Tara Humphries, and you're wonderful. Public information person here at Wayne Community College. So how are things going? So Tara, tell me about the college here. I see youngsters getting out of class and milling around and moving around and doing things. So what's going on?
Well, they're being students. They're learning, but they're also interacting.
Yeah.
We know that is part of the success
Yes.
of college is learning how to interact
Right?
and feeling the love. And that's one thing that we do really well here.
Oh, yeah. Now, not only the students, I see a lot of young people, but there's people of all ages taking classes here. I mean, talk about the adult education.
Everything
It's
all the way
amazing.
up to octogenarians here. So don't say you see a lot of young people and assume that those are the only students.
Octogenarians, those are people from octogenaria?
Those are the ones with octopus in their background. They're very talented.
What an eight-sided question that was. All right. Very good, Tara.
But yeah, we teach everything here for everyone. This is a community college. And if it's in our community, we're going to teach it, we're going to serve it. Come here.
You know,
Come here.
We had Paul Rutter in the other day from University of Mount Olive, and a dear friend of mine, and he was talking about the if he had to recommend to somebody the way to go, he said to start at Wayne Community College.
Really?
Get your 2-year degree. It's providing it's something that you do offer here, and that they could transfer over to University of Mount Olive. He said that's the easiest thing to do.
And we play so well together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The college,
University.
Wayne Community, and the University of Mount Olive. We
Yeah.
have articulation agreements. It can be seamless.
Yeah.
And the money that you can save coming to Wayne Community first.
Mm-hmm.
It helps that's parents' pocketbooks, and if you're one of the older students, it helps your pocketbook.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So you could start here and get your 2-year associate's degree, move on to the University of Mount Olive, and end up with a master's
You
there.
can now.
Yeah, you can
all
now.
the way.
Yeah, all the way to a master's degree.
All in Wayne County. Isn't that amazing?
That's, don't even leave home.
What
Isn't
an
that nice?
educational mecca we are.
We are that. Whatever that means. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that's
one of
what
those
we are.
octogenarian words.
Oh, yeah, it's an oxygen. It's an oxygen word. Okay. All right, very good. Now, I see a lot of growth on the campus here, and I came out several years ago and took a couple of classes, and it continues to grow, constantly growing. You've got a lot going on out here.
We do, and we're responsive to the community.
So response in the community is excellent. You're responsive to the community. What if somebody wants to start a class here?
Then just bring the idea to us. If it's a non-credit class, we have continuing education. Maybe they have 6 friends who would like to learn how to beekeep or carve whatnots.
Yeah.
Come tell us about it.
They can actually start their own class at college.
Just about that easily.
It wouldn't necessarily be accredited.
That's right. It may not be, but it may also be that they are experts at some type of manufacturing, and maybe we need their expertise.
There you go.
We're impressed with the talent in this community.
Oh, yeah.
We provided some of it,
Yes, you did.
but we learn from it as well.
All right, very good. So if you wanted to start your own college course, your own college class, you can do that right here at Wayne Community College.
Most likely it'd be a continuing education class, but there's nothing wrong with lifetime learning, is there, Wayne?
That's exactly right. I try to learn something every day.
Every day.
Okay, so how's Dr. Walker doing?
He is awesome.
Please give him our best.
We will, and he will be installed as our president in a couple of weeks.
There we go.
So, I mean, not that he's not already our president, but this will be the official ceremony.
Official ceremony coming up soon.
Coming up very soon, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to be sampling the food this week, so we're going to make sure that part's good too.
Oh, I like that. I like the sound of that a lot. All right, Tara Humphries is the Public Information Officer here at Wayne Community College. Tara, thank you so much.
Thank you, Wayne.
All right. And there you go. If you want to know more about Wayne Community College, you go online to waynecc.edu, waynecc.edu, or call 919-735-5151. It's that simple, right?
That's it.
Now, here's the answer to today's trivia question. You ready? Back when this country was first being born in the late 1700s, people from around the world were congregating here on this new world, including the Dutch, who settled in an area called New Amsterdam. Where, by what name do we better know the area known as New Amsterdam today? Where is New Amsterdam? Well, the answer to that question is New Amsterdam is New York City. New York City? Yeah. New York City is New Amsterdam. How about that? And that's it for today. Is that it for today?
That's it.
That's it for today. And we got to go, got to run, got to get out of here, got to vamoose, got to scoot. And we'll be back in here tomorrow. Please join us. In the meantime, if you're driving anywhere, please drive carefully. Always wear your seatbelt. And join us again tomorrow right here. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.